question in one very important thing that I think, especially, I mean, if you're here and consuming this content, I think you know this to be true, but we just don't talk enough about the following thing, which is social media is a slang term that we came up with. Social media actually means the apps and websites that we actually spend our time on the phone, which is the remote control of our lives, right? There's no social media. People call YouTube and LinkedIn and Medium social media sites. We call, some of us OGs, Facebook and Twitter Web 2.0 sites. So I think when we say social media, everybody has different thoughts. If you've been around the block in business, you think of it as this afterthought, this sprinkle, this compliment. If you grew up with it, you think it's the only thing, Here's what I know. All I care about is attention. When you talk about selling shit, before you can tell me how awesome your couch is or how fucking great this sneaker is, you need, that's right, you need the person's attention. And if 1978, that means that I can send you a catalog in the mail and you'll go through it and buy shit, then that's what I'll do. You know, if it was way back in the day and I could use smoke signals because everybody looked in the air for communication, mazel tov, right? But now, that happens on 7 to 15 platforms. It's not happening on a lot of digital places where we're doing banner ads and just throwing money directly in the trash because nobody here gives a fuck. And so, how's it changing? Just the amount of attention it's getting. This is not a 14-year-old girl phenomenon. We have 75-year-olds buying enormous amounts of shit on Facebook and Instagram, and people are either overestimating it, underestimating it. I really don't care. I just want to keep it really practical. To me, this is not a debate. There are billions of dollars of transactions going through Facebook. What's going on social? Shit's selling. Thank you, see ya.
Well, we're done now.
The lack of common sense in the echo chamber, whether you defend TV or print, or you want to be a futurist around VR, wherever you sit on those two extremes, it's unbelievable the lack of practicality, practitionership. You know how many people have opinions on social media's impact on selling shit and have never run an ad? Have never been a practitioner to a Facebook ad? So,
well, they're also all bullshitting about, you know, it not working. Just like, stupid.
All you have to do is reverse engineer what the North Star of the content is, right? Like, whose opinion or what have you. Don't take my opinion. Don't take his opinion. Don't take anybody's opinion. Try shit.
But it's interesting, even the phrase social media, like you mentioned, the companies that we've known have used it for the longest are kind of moving themselves away from that word. So Facebook doesn't call itself a social media company anymore. Twitter Facebook doesn't consider itself a social media company anymore.
Is not considered.
Yeah, Snapchat calls itself a camera company.
You're right. Or great.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about the word?
And so how does that shape? Let's say you are a marketer in here.
Fuck that word.
So more of the story, never use the word social media ever again, or Gary might have to come and slap you.
Or why don't you figure out what you're trying to accomplish? I want to raise awareness and money for Crohn's disease because my brother has it. Do you think I care if Facebook is considered a social media site or that Twitter recalibrated its classification in the App Store as a news site? That means nothing to me. I want people to know about the disease and give money to it so I can help my brother. I don't give a fuck about the tactics of what I say or Adam or anybody else says.
So how's that changing then? So talk about that attention, right?
Sorry. I get excited.
No, it's passion. It's good.
I'm having more fun watching Marty.
We need one more P. We've got positivity, passion. What's one more?
Marty, what does that call itself? Do we need to rebrand?
That's a great question. Well, because we're both a magazine, we still have a print edition, but we're also an online news site. And our online presence is far broader than our print site. And so, I guess I would call ourselves just, it's a news organization. It's a publication.
And one day, everybody here may watch this in their living rooms in VR, and whether you're a media company, or a platform, or a personality, or a retailer, or a nonprofit, or running for governor, you're going to need to know how to storytell on a new medium. If you guys really want to be successful in where this is all going over the next 10 years, go back and look at what happened in the late 40s and early 50s when our society went away from being a primary radio society to an emerging television society. A lot of people, a lot of power, a lot of brands died, and a lot of emerged. And that's what we're about to live through over this next decade. As we shift to the phone being our primary news, content, information platform, we will have people that are romantic and holding on to the old world and they'll die. And we'll have new people that execute and storytell on a new platform and emerge as more important figures, organizations, and causes.
So we talk about the importance of trying things out, right? Like, seeing what works, what doesn't, inventing different things, but trying things out isn't necessarily always cheap, right? And it depends on the size of your company, but especially if it's a large company, it's a lot of red tape to try things out. So talk about when you're trying these different avenues of fighting for attention. What are some things that people should be thinking about, and how do you decide where to justify spending to try something, and when do you go with something that maybe or maybe doesn't work?
So if you're an entrepreneur, your biggest asset is time. So if you're literally sitting here, how many people are entrepreneurs or in startups? If you're literally sitting here and debating, should you be on Snapchat or Marco Polo, or does LinkedIn or Medium work for you? And you don't cut out 1 hour of dumb shit like watching TV or some other horse shit and not spend that time on trying, you're gonna lose. You're just not trying hard enough. You're not working hard enough. All you've got is time. As an entrepreneur, you should stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning if you have the audacity to think that your life is gonna be that you're gonna build a business and live off it for the rest of your life. You should put in the work and you should try it. If you're a big organization, you are wasting so much money on dumb shit that you've done historically by carving out 20% of that money and spending a little to establish your presence on a Snapchat. Listen, I spent a ton of time on Social Cam, Yobongo, Plurk, Vine, and they're not relevant anymore. But the learnings I got from them for storytelling, I applied on Snapchat and Instagram, and it helped me. I am stunned by people's inability to take risk of time to have the upside or risk of micro monies to have the upside. Everybody is fundamentally on defense, and that's why so few people win.
So, we're gonna come back. But it's a good question. So, thinking about that, I mean, even Vine, for example, which, I mean, pretty much is about to not exist. Well, it doesn't exist anymore. Well, it still kind of does, but they're shutting it down. But people built their entire online presences on there, and companies have tried it out. But there's an example of you try something and then it goes away unexpectedly.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
you, go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, I mean, but if they, I think it's companies have to stop treating this stuff just strictly as a DR platform, as a direct response platform, right? I mean, the companies that did that learned something. They learned something really fundamental about the way they produce content, and more importantly, they learned a lot about their consumers. They learned about their preferences and the way they want to consume content, and how to engage those people in a way that was really relevant and authentic to those people. Those are learnings that are going to propel them to whatever next platform comes along. And I think, too many people sort of look at these things and go, well, that was a waste. Or they go, I have X number of followers and that's what matters, or I don't have enough followers and that's what matters. They're completely missing the fact that they're learning something from this, and that's actually making them far more relevant for the long haul.
Do you know that this is what we've been doing for 70 years in marketing? No company got mad after Seinfeld got canceled and said, wait a minute, we were running commercials on Seinfeld when everybody was watching, now it's got canceled. Nobody complained when a magazine was the #1 magazine in society and then stopped producing. You market when the attention's there, you extract it, and when it's not there, you move somewhere else. Why are we applying different rules on social network platforms that we are not applying to TV and print? Why?
Good question. What do you guys
It's a
think?
very good question. I'll tell you why.
Tell us.
Because every time there's something new, we have an inability as people to apply historic rules to it, and we're scared of the new thing. We go into defense. Again, this is what we did on TV forever. And back to Vine, let me tell you about the 50 people that went all in on Vine. They're making millions of dollars a year on branded content on Snapchat and Instagram. They made a good call while you debated if it was going to be around.
So what's working? Let's say, man. Let's take the companies that you're working with, right? Like what's working in your, because you work with a lot of different brands, and you're trying different things out. So what are you seeing in terms of learning from things? Like with Curate, what is working right now and what's not?
Yeah, so Curate works with about 1,000 brands, really deep in the apparel industry and travel and beauty. Look, what's fundamentally changing in our world is that the brands we work with are taking the content that comes out of these platforms and completely changing the consumer experiences that people have on their own channels. And I think that's been really, really fascinating to see. It almost doesn't matter which of these channels sort of makes it long term for them. What they are recognizing is that the kind of content that consumers want to consume has changed. That they can't produce it themselves exclusively, and that they have to integrate more voices into it, and that content can't just be overproduced with huge crews of people and all of that. It needs to be produced rapidly and needs to be brought into environments. And when you do it, it sells. It sells a lot. Conversion rates increase, order values increase, time on site increases, ad returns increase. Every metric that you care about increases simply by embracing the kind of content that's being produced on these new channels.
So let's take one of the emerging things. Let's take vertical video, for example. Vertical video, it is getting a lot of traction this year. People are trying it out. We have Snapchat, we have Instagram stories. How is that shaping the way people find things and buy things? Or is it too early for that still?
So I think it's the same old thing, right? Like if you look back historically, the first 100 television commercials in America were radio spots. They were actually a picture, and the man that read the radio also read that. We as creators and artists hadn't adapted to a new medium. So vertical video is just a slight alteration. It's actually more natural to us than how we hold it, versus it's one less action, we love time, that 100th of a second mattered. And the content producers and businesses that understand how to produce in those channels are going to get results, including little things like, I always try to scale the unscalable. So for example, vertical video Instagram, I noticed that in the left-hand corner on day one, that somebody could hit that and send me a message. So I created that call to action in my story. Thousands of people messaged me, I replied, they got value out of that engagement because that's what they were looking for. The same way if a New York Jets player did that, I would have texted them really fast. And that made it stickier and more valuable. That's a nuance that I couldn't do in some other platform. So what early creators have to do is invent the rules, right? Chris Messina, Factory Joe, made up the hashtag. I was there in early Twitter. He made it up. It is now the foundation of how we roll in creating context on these platforms. So I think what has it done? The people that really understand it go. I think back to when I jumped on YouTube a couple months in. Every video was a couple of seconds or ripped off pirated content. I sat down and drank wine for 20 minutes in front of it. And everybody was baffled. I flew out to Google and Yahoo, and I didn't really know. But what it taught me was great content will always win. Whether it's vertical, whether it's horizontal. If you want to watch, if the greatest movie ever made was 4.5 hours, you would watch it. If a piece of shit Vine is made, you'll stop that for 3 seconds, you won't even watch all 6. So I think we spend too much time on the context of these things, and we don't understand that the people that figure out the context and the content will win no matter what, and different people and different companies figure those things out.
So, a lot of applause today. I like it.
Yeah, Marty, just to add one thing on vertical video, I think one of the things that people are also should consider with vertical is not just that video turned 90 degrees, but that when video turned 90 degrees, it inherited gestures that we didn't really have in horizontal video before. Now that you can put your thumb across the screen, you can actually consume content in a completely new way as a consumer. You can actually jump through it. And that's actually going to rewrite how people develop this content for consumers. So I think
That first second mattering a lot.
yeah, well, I kind of, this is an imperfect analogy, but I sort of think about this as the difference between tapes and CDs, right? You don't have to listen to the whole damn thing anymore. You can actually jump through it. And if you're a consumer who's attention starved, well, somewhat imperfect. And it's also if you're 20, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. So that's why it's also imperfect. Yeah, it's we're old now. So anyway. So tapes were this thing, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think it's not, you have to think about vertical also in what it empowers you to do, and the sort of creativity it empowers.
So, thinking about this battle for attention, right? And going away from, you were talking about banner ads earlier, and I know a number of people, especially the last year and a half or so, have kind of used the analogy with some types of inventory as like the financial crisis, right? Where there's all this stuff that works, doesn't work, and eventually people are going to come to realize that maybe it doesn't work as well as they think. So how do you convince someone now that somebody watching a video or looking at an Instagram photo or video or whatever platform, YouTube, how do you think more about justifying, like, because these are millions of dollars people are spending on things that potentially don't work?
It's really easy. What you're referring to, especially from your point of view, is are big companies going to allocate real dollars and then find out that it didn't really work because they don't have the metrics internally that they've accepted. You look back to the history of why Facebook makes a lot of money, it was very much on the back of data logics justifying the spend, and corporate America decided to accept that the same way they accept Nielsen ratings, right? Here's the funny thing. The 5 times that I've been able to get a client into a very black and white Facebook video consumption versus television DMA split, real money, millions of dollars in vote bucket test, and the ROI is sales, not some bullshit modeling mix or an article in a newspaper or a fucking award in the south of France. Every time I've been able to do those 5, Facebook has dominated. So for me, for everybody out there debating what works, doesn't, I want to have bake-offs. Let's see if your shit really sells. You spend $4 million on your print and your programmatic banner bullshit and television and sponsoring shit, and I'll spend mine on Facebook video and influencers at scale that are underpriced, and let's look at sales. The dirty little secret is, corporate America loves to say, well, we don't know if it's gonna work and this and that. They don't wanna prove out the ROI of marketing because it's safer for them because they don't have to be on the hook within their organization. That's the fucking truth.
So,
right? and media buying agencies across the ecosystem make more margin on placing television and programmatic digital inventory than they do in planning Facebook and other means that are more successful. So the advice that they're giving to their biggest clients is predicated on their margin because they're publicly traded companies, not what they actually believe. And as I said that sentence, there was 11 people shaking their heads in their 40s and 50s, so they've been around the game, because that's also the truth. And so what's happening really in marketing is, how many people saw The Big Short, the movie? Right. I was watching that movie with my wife, and I tapped her and I said, honey, this is exactly what's going in on marketing. Everybody's in on it. Everybody knows this shit doesn't work, but nobody's calling it. And I'm the guy with the weird fucking eye.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
So that's what's happening. That's the ecosystem.
So,
Do you know?
do I know?
Do you know that last year and over the last 2 years, that 97% of the Fortune 500 companies have lost market share in the consumer packaged goods space? This is just real data. They're declining because they're marketing like it's 2002, 1994, or 1986, and emerging brands are marketing in a different way. They're losing share because of their commitment to the romance of television or blindly listening to their agencies.
So, even on that note, and we don't have much time left, maybe one last question. So, with all this in mind, I've got to ask, is technology shaping advertising more than advertising is shaping itself?
I mean, honestly, I don't. Ad units are going to come and go, and they're going to change and all of that. Ultimately, I think we undervalue the content that's inside of it. That's what's actually driving how people interact with it. That's what's fundamentally changing. I could care less whether the unit changes.
Creative is the value, right? We have everybody's attention. They just judged us, the 3 of us, on our creative. So the art is always the thing. The problem is the audacity of the advertising industry is making them vulnerable because they're not accepting the technology change and realizing that they can do even more art in the world that we believe in, not less, but they want to be still put on a pedestal, go to New Zealand, blow up a volcano, and go grab a fucking award.
And with that in mind, we're out of time, actually. So, great, thanks.
Shut up and sit down.